acquisition of the property shown in blue from about Vanderbilt Avenue to the creek. Now, the blue represents the properties that the department will purchase or buy, thus becoming the new owner. The orange color over here, those represent permanent easements. The current owner would remain the owner, but the permanent easement would grant the department the right to enter upon the property and access the structure for future inspections and future maintenance. The permanent easement will last for the life of the structure. The green areas at the end there, those represent temporary easements. Similar to the permanent easement, the temporary easement would grant the department the right to enter upon the property to erect, maintain, and then remove a temporary structure that will be needed over Meeker Avenue at that end to reconnect to the existing highway. That temporary structure, that's what will be used to shift the traffic from the existing bridge onto the new bridge or the eastbound structure when it's completed. The temporary easements would last for the duration of the project. For those of you from Queens, this is the Queens side of the project area. There's the footprint of the new bridge. Again, the eastbound, the Queensbound portion of the new bridge will be built right next to the existing bridge, and it will require the acquisition of the property shown in blue from the creek to the Long Island Expressway ramp. The blue properties the department will have to purchase or buy. Those orange color, permanent easements. The green represents a temporary easement. The department is looking, as documented in the EIS, the department intends to use the creek, take advantage of the creek to barge in materials and supplies rather than trucking them into the site. So we're looking to use that as a construction staging area to offload the items from the barge. There are many factors that led us to select alternative BR5 as the preferred alternative. One of those being is that alternative BR5 had fewer impacts to the adjacent properties than any of the bridge replacement alternatives because we were only building on one side of the highway. The department's real estate group is leading or heading the right-of-way acquisition process. We have members of the real estate group here this afternoon. We have the table set up for them over here. If you have any questions, feel free to meet with them. The real estate group is making offers and continuing negotiations with the affected owners of the properties affected and are providing relocation assistance to the affected tenants. Our team is preparing acquisition maps to acquire the fee areas, the permanent easements, the orange, and the temporary easements with the green color that are needed to complete the project. The record of decision and the final EIS document the department's commitment to provide parks and open space as part of the project. Now that's either as mitigation for impacts to an existing playground or as environmental enhancements for the community. The department has initiated extensive coordination with the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation to discuss usage, function, and specific elements that could go in new and improved parks. We've continued to get input from our stakeholders advisory committee on issues related to parks and open space planning. Our stakeholders group members assisted us in passing out a survey, and some of you may even have seen that survey, of some of these new parks that we're proposing for the project. Again, to get input back from the community. And it's focusing on the new and improved Sergeant Doherty Playground and new proposed open space parks in both Brooklyn and Queens. This is an aerial photo of the Brooklyn side of the project. The large blue area below the footprint of the new bridge, that is the new and improved Sergeant Doherty Playground. The blue areas on the other side of the highway, those are new parks that we're proposing for the area of Brooklyn here. And the light green areas, which are kind of running along the side streets, those are streetscaping improvements that we're proposing that will include new street trees, decorative lampposts, that sort of thing. We're also proposing an area to launch canoes and kayaks impact into Newtown Creek. We're still evaluating where the best location for that area should be. This is the Queens side of the project area. Now this area is different than Brooklyn, that there's no concentrated residential area. So there's no existing park or playground facilities at all in this area. But we're proposing to put some kind of a park there, shown in blue. We're working with the Parks Department to determine what function it would actually, or what kind of usage it would actually be used for. We're also proposing the streetscaping improvements, and we're also proposing an area to launch canoes and kayaks into Newtown Creek, but still evaluating the best location for that area. Last but certainly not least, and really the primary purpose for holding these open houses is the work we've done in the selection of a new bridge type for the main span of the Kosciuszko Bridge. Now we're focusing on the main span. That's the portion of the bridge that goes over the creek as the focal point of the new bridge. The approaches would likely be the same for any of the main span types. The department had made the decision to present 4 bridge types at these open houses to present to the public. Now, agreeing with the recommendations of our Stakeholders Advisory Committee when we presented to them last fall. Now, we really can't begin or get too far along on the detailed bridge design until we select a main span type. But we want to get the public's input before that final selection is made. And hence, these open houses and the input that we're seeking from you this afternoon. Following the open houses, we'll be conducting a main span selection process, and that will evaluate a number of factors, including potential impacts of the various bridge types, which was not included in the EIS. The public's input will be a part of that selection process. We'll continue agency coordination with the key agencies. We'll likely involve our interagency advisory committee to allow the agencies an opportunity to participate in the process. And we will continue to keep the public fully informed of the progress of the project. We expect to complete the selection of the new main span sometime later this year, at which time we'll really get fully involved in going with the detailed bridge design. We expect to complete the right-of-way acquisition process by 2013, and we anticipate bridge construction beginning by 2014. At this point, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Steve Bennett. He's with our final design consultant, Parsons Winterhart. Steve will go into much more detail on the bridge types being considered for the new span, some of the selection criteria that we'll be looking at, making the selection of the final main span type, and also how you can provide input